Good morning, magical galactic dragon beings. Who are we today? How are we today? In my world, there's not that much time today, so I should try to pay some attention to the hourglass. Galactic Dragon. We've been to both the dragon and the galactic tone before, and now we start mixing it all up. Nurturing. How do we nurture ourselves? How do we nurture our environment, people around us, our inner being? Being nurturing, being nurtured, allowing ourselves or realizing how nurtured by life we are. Or if we feel we're not, then we're probably a bit in the shadow of the dragon, cut off from source, maybe a little bit from abundance, and very possibly not in our own integrity. To me personally, the concept of not being in integrity, it doesn't feel, not that it doesn't feel good, but it kind of like, it raises some hairs somewhere the back of my neck. It's one of those things that I really would, I sense a sense of shame or something attached to not being in integrity. The dragon, the antipodal position of the dragon is the blue monkey, the inner child, the divine child, playfulness. And we are in the wizard wave spell. There's a lot of magic around. And integrity, when we never lose our integrity by choice. Integrity gets compromised early on. Gee, I keep taking us back there. Why do I do that? It's kind of like one of the reasons I do that is my way of nurturing our presence, our present moment, by finding a reason, not a fault, but a reason somewhere in the past to arrive at a more compassionate position in the present. Nurturance, among other things, is compassion. For me, personally, I deal a lot with wounds. Somehow our psychology interests me, and why do we function the way we function, and why we don't, and why is there harmony, and why is there not, within ourselves, and as a result among each other. Tone 8 today, integrity, modeling harmony. Galactic, I imagine, to take it far out, as long as this harmony is on the planet, we will not be granted access to beyond the planet. And at the same time, I'm reminded if I need to understand harmony, I just need to look out into the galaxy and understand or look at that harmony. We're so small on Earth, and the galaxy is so big, and yet get when we manage to make something so big fit a picture, a screen of some kind, or an image in some way that my eyes can behold. It can fit into the frame of my vision. Since looking at the galaxy itself is not directly possible with the naked eye, but it can be reduced to an image, and that is is that the image of harmony. And what does harmony mean? It doesn't necessarily mean things don't bump into each other or there's no friction. But coexistence requires harmony. Existence requires harmony. If I'm constantly in disharmony within myself, or too much more than is good, a little bit is okay. Imbalance leads to balance. Disharmony is another kind of harmony, but there are certain harmonious states that are not supportive of life. I'm reminded of the experiment with the water by Dr. Emoto. And the crystal's water forms. And now I can spend any amount of time studying I hate you, what that does. Or I can look at I love you, what that does. And then take my pick. And today is a great day to self-reflect, to look inward. We're in the wave spell of the White Wizard, which to me has got a lot to do with close your eyes and look inward. See the power we hold within. Everything comes from what we call within. If I close my eyes and I imagine that within is also without, I can mentally imagine the universe. Is it then within me or is it outside of me? Empowerment has to be starting within. Disempowerment is often that we've given power away. Big topic, I'm not going there. Integrity, our integrity, the importance of integrity. Oh gosh. And when we give up our integrity for the sake of for harmony and peace, because we need that, and at certain ages more than we need perhaps our integrity, we sacrifice our integrity. Anyway, are we finding a way forward? Are we integrity and compromise? My integrity, your integrity. Can we live on this planet collectively and honor each other's integrity? Honor our own integrity to the degree that we honor our own. We will not need to dishonor anyone else's. And if my integrity is not being respected by another, the mirror tells me that that is a reflection of my own compromised integrity. It's very, very difficult to see. So I speak about these things usually with the utmost amount of nurturance. It's a topic that if I talk about it, I want to only talk from a position of the red dragon and the white dog, the occult friend of the red dragon is the yellow sun. consciousness, and the antipode is the white dog. So universal fire, universal love, loyalty, personal love, love, punkt, full stop. Love and compassion. Love has many meanings. I think compassion doesn't have so many meanings. It's an easier concept. It's a soft, I don't know if it's a softer concept. Nurturing. Incidentally, the mirror, as I just spoke about it, is the analog kin to the red dragon. And today in the wizard we can really see, what are we seeing reflected. Everything we see is a reflection of something else. So everything reflects something. Everything is a reflection. The human interface is like a mirror. This avatar, or yeah, I think I stand to be corrected, but right now I feel everything is a reflection. I can look at my cellular structure, I can look at my thoughts, my night dreams, my family, my environment, nature, galaxies. Everything reflects something. As within, so without. As within, so without. As above, so below. So, in my integrity, if I nurture myself, if I come to understand and learn what I need, nurture my inner child, it eases the path. It eases the path because life reflects back to me the state of my own inner peace, so to speak. Sometimes it's a long journey. This morning, I have this interaction with the cat. I'm visiting family at the moment, and there's a cat here. And this cat is so wonderful, cuddly, beautiful cat. But somewhere, somehow, there's a trauma. So if the hand goes above his head towards his back, or if one touches the back, and there's somewhere he immediately snaps. It's immediately a danger, immediately, and he doesn't play. That cat does not play. Oh man, I've got scars. He bites, and when he bites, he draws blood, and he immediately goes with his hind legs. Also, he clutches, claws, and scratches with the hind legs and bites. I mean, it's really. I've been working with him for a long time, so I understand him better. I see it coming, and if ever I don't, I know immediately. I just don't go into my own reaction to his attacking me when I'm not attacking him. But he's such a mirror of what happens even in me, in us, when we are triggered. A situation gets completely misinterpreted, and it's so classical because I come to stroke him, to caress him, to cuddle him, which is exactly what he wants. He comes to me for that. And then one thing in his brain just changes his reality completely in an instant, and he feels attacked, and he doesn't have the space in that moment to double check. He can't. Am I being attacked or not? What's going on? And he snaps. I test him sometimes. I see he starts to get uneasy, and he feels like, and then he looks around, and is there an attack or not? If I don't move, I can say I can play him a little bit. There are moments where he learns like, aha, I can relax, or I move the hand away, or I hear his I hear his signals and says, don't. It's like as if he says to me, I'm about to snap, just don't. So he's already in the red zone. It's fascinating to watch. And I'm not sure that it can be, there are techniques we can rewire. We can help animals rewire their trauma experiences as well. I visit here not often enough, but there's been situations where he was so present that he pushed my hand away with his paw and said, don't. And I didn't. And so he can learn that he can communicate. He doesn't have to wait until it's too late. But that presence that's required, it's required of me to hold that present state with him, to get him so present that this post-traumatic nurturance, healing can happen. Space and time, that whatever in him got so hurt, it gets a moment to breathe before it reacts, and it can learn different responses. And it's a process I do with myself. I also have triggers, and I can re-educate myself. I can take my immediate environment along and say, I don't know what triggers me, but when I get triggered, this is what happens. If you don't understand that, you're going to be very confused, and you're going to get attacked by me, and you're not going to understand why. And if you then react defensively when I'm triggered, not to make excuses, but it just goes nowhere. Triggers, when we are triggered, it's you're way outside the bounds of any rational mind. Forget it. And you can't afterwards rationalize and say, oh yeah, I'm not going to do that again, or what, talk about it, na. It will happen again until whatever is being triggered learns to give itself some space, to notice itself. And that's Red Dragon. And that's in many ways or often in compromised integrity. When a pain happened and or a trauma happened and it didn't maybe get, it needs to, there are different kinds of trauma. Some you can clear out relatively easily yourself, some we don't. And sometimes when we add shame into the mix, when we notice we can repress our trigger responses, it's possible. But that doesn't solve them. It just pushes us very deep into control mechanisms. Very, very, very exhausting. And I genuinely believe most of us can't keep it up for very long. There comes a point where you snap even more. And then, depending on how much of that repression has been going on, we get so far removed from the initial trigger, from the initial pain, it's now exponentially more. And it's like really difficult to wade through that, because it's like, wow, just layer upon layer of repressed material, which is cemented together with shame and more control and fear and not understanding. It's crazy. It's really crazy, actually. And in my books, I don't know, we all have to learn that compassion. I think it'd be good if we did towards ourselves, to understand, to nurture ourselves back to our own integrity, whatever that means. And then communication can happen. Without it, communication. Tomorrow, solar wind. In the wizard wave spell, the wind anytime. Communication, I feel so often we are in the worlds I live in, man, communication is an issue. Language to me very often is an issue because I speak 2 languages fluently, and both of them are actually, there are so many concepts we cannot even begin to talk about because we have no language for it. And how can you be aware of things when you have no language for it? We can, but in the Western world we're so pressed, I feel, into our language center is a paramount ability to put things into words, because we're so left-brained, rational mind, logical mind. Language is such a big part of, I mean, we can speak in music, we can communicate in music, we can communicate in touch, we can communicate in dance, and so many ways we communicate. When it comes to certain experiences, or I sometimes think language is limiting. I stand to be corrected. But within language, maybe it's kind of like what I spoke about some days ago about the classical music and the limitations. Now use the limitations and express within the limitations. And frankly, I have to take everything back I just said, because our poets and our spiritual poets, be it Rumi, be it Keats or someone. I mean, there are a lot of people, Rilke, who used words. So many poets, Khalil Gibran, so many people have managed to use words with all their limitations and painted pictures that are so beyond any limitation. So what it takes me back to the artist, the star, art, using words artfully, using limitations artfully. The monkey is attached to the star. The blue monkey is the analog kin is the blue star. It's the blue star. It's the red. It's the yellow star. The artist, playfulness, and integrity. The star is the first seal that we come across on tone 8. So it's very, very linked to tone 8, to the galactic tone. So we're nurturing today and being nurtured. And maybe understanding when people snap or when they're unkind, very often they're triggered, or they come from a place of pain, or they're trying to defend something, and they may not realize that what they're defending isn't being attacked, just like the cat doesn't realize my hand does not come as an attack. It's not a danger. It doesn't realize it in this moment. And how compassionate can we be with the next person who's not being compassionate at all? And yet, how in our own integrity can we be when our environment loses its integrity? Somehow politics just floats around somewhere in the top right corner of my mind. How in integrity is our politics, global politics, local politics. Politics and integrity are like 2 opposite concepts that they just don't go very well together, because politics is not about integrity. It's about something else. And what is our vision for the future? Our vision for, do we need politics? I see a world that just does not need politics. People management, power management, we will become self-organizing. I wonder what my body's internal politics are. What are the politics? who's deciding who gets to starve today? I had some vitamin A, so now who decides who gets it? It's a coherent system. It solves itself. It organizes itself. It knows where things are needed. It's beautiful. It's harmonic. It's galactic. It's galactic. It's galactic. It's artful. I often look at when I look at the star glyph, the yellow star, I always see cells together, a lot of cells together, and that's a system of integrity. When integrity gets lost, autoimmune, you've compromised your integrity and your body becomes um, a reflection of that. Maybe when you're very young, your integrity was compromised. I'm not going to mention ways and means by which I definitely see the immune system's integrity gets compromised way early, before the immune system is even formed in a young body. The integrity of the still developing immune system is heavily compromised, and it continues like that. So maybe we don't need to be so surprised about autoimmune diseases, but I am no expert on it. Those are just my own private thoughts about it. So it's like in many ways integrity gets compromised, and when we at some point when we need to become the cosmic human that's transcending, then we need to take responsibility. We need to reclaim our integrity, and that can be really, really difficult. So maybe today is a good day. Any dragon day is a good day. Any galactic day is a good day. Any day is a good day to be very mindful of our integrity. And in the wizard wave spell, yeah, we can look outside at the reflection. We can look inside. It's sometimes a little bit, for some people it's harder to look inside. For some it's easier. Wherever you get met with, well, how does a loss or lack of integrity meet us? Whatever, you'll know it in your own life. So we can check up on ourselves and see how do we heal it. And sometimes it's enough to say, I can't feel my integrity right now, or I'm not sure where my truth is, or even if you just think it in your own head, I need some sort of nurturing right now, but I don't know what I need. It's so common not to know what we need. It's so common not to know what our environment needs. It's so common not to speak, not to say anything. It's very common to be in this mode, that if infant mode, where mommy has a sixth sense, and she knows what the infant needs, and all her senses are tuned and heightened to the needs of her child, never more than during the child's infancy. But when we grow up and we have not really developed fully, healthily, often we're a bit stuck in that phase or something. We can't really feel what we need, and we wish someone would just know what we need and just fulfill our needs without us having to say anything. And if we are very autonomous, we can end up in a position where I can't feel what I need, but I know I can supply my own needs. I don't need nobody else. I can't even speak about blah, 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 blah. So, I mean, the list is endless. And we each are responsible for ourselves, not for anyone else. We may carry some responsibility for our growing children, but not for our partners or our parents or our co-workers or our friends. We're not responsible for them. We are responsible for ourselves, and to notice ourselves, to know ourselves, and to be able to say what we need, to state our own boundaries, and to be able to do so without hurting and harming, sometimes we state them very forcefully because we just haven't learned how to state them healthily, naturally, respectfully. Because how often have we been disrespected in our own boundaries, and then as a result, we just disrespect boundaries of others, and we disrespect our own boundaries. So the Galactic Dragon can help us investigate, heal, maybe check up on our own integrity. Where are we at with that? And in other days, we can refer back to her and like big dragon mama with the mirror, with the sun, love, universal love, consciousness, awareness, universal fire in her. It's her medicine. And love is a transformer. So to become loving, to become kind, to learn, what do we need? What do I need? And do I have to have it now? I need it now. You know, no, we can wait a little bit. We can learn patience. But, I can go on about that. Like so many of us need to relearn a lot of things we didn't healthily learn in childhood. But we can do them as adults. We can do. And wherever we're a step further than the next person, instead of maybe shaking our heads and thinking, oh my God, what's wrong with you? We don't understand what's wrong with them. We don't know what love they didn't get. We don't know what phase in their development they just got abused or not understood or couldn't explore the boundaries and the extremes in a healthy way, and then received some guidance, some healthy, loving, nurturing guidance in their childhood days usually, that they got to understand. Only a relaxed being can learn. Because it's relaxed, it can learn through its own experience. It can understand when a person, a being, a system, or an animal is in stress. The stress response causes a chemical response in the body that disables the learning. So when a child is yelled at, it may just go into stress, likely, and then what the parent or the yeller is trying to teach that child not to do, it doesn't get learned. It doesn't get understood. It just gets frightened. And oftentimes nothing gets explained. And then the signals get very, very confused in there. Very confused in there. So can we be compassionate with each other? Can we help each other grow where we need growing? Foster our own inner children. Foster someone else's inner child. Be kind, be nurturing, but most of all with ourselves, and if we need something from another, like I need to talk to someone, can you listen to me, or can you could you, or I need to be touched. How do I get touch in a safe way if I don't know how, if I don't have anyone to touch me safely? Stuff like that. How do I even know that I need touch if I've completely learned to fear touch, or to not know that I even need it, or to not know how to ask for it, etc. Yeah. So today is a great day for that. Modeling. And maybe if we can't easily look outward, maybe we can also look inward. We can look outward and see people that you're in your integrity. You're really good at looking after yourself. You're really good at nurturing yourself. I'm observing that. Maybe I'm impressed by it. Maybe I just want to acknowledge it. Maybe I want to learn something from you. You manage to stay calm in situations where others don't, or where I don't, or whatever, There's so many options here. So, yeah, that's for me at the moment, Dragon Mama, my own internal Dragon Mama. Can I nurture myself and then be nurturing outside? Another aspect of this is, am I nurturing everyone else because I can't nurture myself? Am I giving because I can't give to myself, because I can't receive? It's very common for people to be great givers but very poor receivers. And while some people, that can be quite an imbalance as well. So, balance. Here we are. I'm wishing us all a beautiful Galactic Dragon Day with a lot of self-love to fill in our inner chambers, to be radiating out from within, and to be in the field of love and care today, to be in the field of playing, playful, loving, caring, joy today. Aho.